You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Álvarez. But I do believe that if you can box.
Stephen A. Smith's bold claim has sent the boxing world into meltdown, sparking endless debates among fans and analysts. The idea of Crawford outshining Canelo has added a whole new layer of tension to an already heated rivalry. Stephen A. didn't stop there. He further made the entire debate even more intense. He stated, "I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Álvarez, but I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo, you can outpoint him." The statement set the stage for even more drama around a potential Crawford versus Canelo showdown. Stephen A. wasn't backing down from his belief, painting a picture of how the right fighter could take the win. Fans immediately started imagining Crawford using his movement and skill to pull it off. The tension around this dream fight just hit a whole new level. If these two ever meet in the ring, the buildup alone will be electric. Just when the debate was heating up, Robert Garcia added his own take that turned even more heads. His perspective brought a whole new layer to the conversation and got everyone talking.
It's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
Garcia's words carried weight, especially given his experience training world champions. He pointed out why this fight isn't as one-sided as many might think. Fans quickly started dissecting his analysis, breaking down every possibility. The idea of Crawford proving everyone wrong became even more exciting. If this clash ever happens, the buildup could be just as explosive as the fight itself. Robert Garcia didn't stop there. He went even deeper with another take that got fans buzzing. What he said next only fueled more speculation about Canelo's approach in big fights.
Look, it's just Canelo doesn't go out for the knockout anymore. Canelo's just now. We've seen in the last few fights, he just does enough to win. He did the same again, Munguia. He dropped Munguia, but then they didn't want to finish him. Charlo, Berlanga. He wants to cruise through the fight. He's up there, in not in age because he's only like 33 or 34, but he's
fighting since 15.
He was 15. A lot of training camps, a lot of sparring matches. So all that takes a lot out of your body. So he takes care of his body too. So he doesn't go all out because he doesn't want to just finish his body. He knows he still has a few more years and a few big fights where he wants to take care of himself. And not punish himself too much. That's why he hasn't been able to knock those guys out. Not because he can't. I think he just does enough to win.
This insight added a whole new angle to the conversation. Garcia highlighted factors that could completely change how fans view Canelo in a potential showdown with Crawford. The idea of a more cautious Canelo gave Crawford's supporters even more reason to believe. Discussions online blew up, with everyone debating how this would play out in the ring. If these two ever square off, the storyline surrounding the fight would be just as intense as the action itself. Even Jay Watts delivered a prediction that took the entire debate to another level. His statement was bold, unexpected, and had everyone talking.
Well, Bud beats him by TKO. Unpopular opinion, Bud by TKO. I think he get him out of there probably about the 10th, 11th. It's like a peppering him with punches. They're gonna have to stop that because he's gonna put his hands on him.
All right.
The prediction instantly lit up the boxing world and divided fans into two camps. Some called it way too far, while others believed it could actually happen. It added a fresh wave of energy to an already intense matchup. The thought of such an ending had everyone imagining how it might play out. If it ever comes true, it would be one of the most unforgettable moments in boxing history. Keith Thurman then stepped in with a perspective that added even more depth to the ongoing debate. His words struck a balance between respect and realism, making fans pay attention.
Bud, man, because, I believe that it just takes the right kind of IQ, the right type of boxing style, obviously a really tough training camp. I'm not sure how he's really going to move around with the extra weight on him, yada, yada, yada. Everybody, we all feel that way, but it's up for him to show us what he's going to do. Just like me and my comeback. He's been injured. What's he going to do? It's up to the athlete to show you what he's going to do, man. So I just think it's I think it's a really good fight for the sport.
The talk brought a fresh layer of insight to the potential showdown. Thurman's experience and measured tone gave weight to his thoughts, leaving fans thinking hard. His comments also highlighted just how unpredictable this fight could be. Every scenario now feels possible, and that's what makes it so electrifying. If Crawford and Canelo ever share the ring, the entire boxing world will be on edge. Keith Thurman followed up with another take that perfectly captured the magnitude of this matchup. His words carried a mix of excitement and respect that resonated with fans everywhere.
But in this case, we actually have real boxers, right? So I feel like it's like a mashup, almost like a DJ put it together. Canelo versus Bud Crawford. you know, I feel like, it's something unique, something special. It's fun. And, we ain't getting punched in the face. So let's just watch the show and enjoy, people. You know what I'm saying? Let's just watch what these champions do. No matter what they do, they're both great. They're both going to continue to be great. But by the end of the day, one will be above the other.
The way Thurman framed the fight reminded everyone why this potential showdown is so special. It's more than just a clash of two champions. It's a moment that could define an era. Fans could feel the weight of what's at stake through his words. The anticipation around Crawford and Canelo stepping into the ring has never felt bigger. If this fight ever happens, it won't just be another event, it will be history in the making. Keith Thurman wasn't done yet. He broke things down even further with a sharp observation about Canelo's recent fights. What he said next got everyone analyzing the smallest details.
I think a lot of people are going to lean towards Canelo. I don't want to say it's like, I feel like for the fans, it's coming off 50-50. Like it's hard for me to really commit, because this is what happened, right? When Canelo just fought the Charlo, right? When he just fought Charlo, he knocked Charlo down. But after he knocked Charlo down and Charlo was using ring movement, he never hit Charlo with another big shot, okay? This is what Keith Thurman is watching. I'm not saying like, oh, Canelo didn't do good. Like, Canelo dominated. That fight he dominated, right? But let's just pay attention to little details, right? After he got dropped, he never got hurt again.
Thurman's breakdown brought a whole new perspective to the conversation. He pointed out subtle moments that could make all the difference in a fight against Crawford. Fans began replaying Canelo's past performances, wondering if these patterns could resurface. The debate only got louder as both sides dug into their arguments. If Crawford and Canelo meet in the ring, every move will be under a microscope. Keith Thurman then shifted the focus to the physical matchup, breaking down what really matters once the fight begins. His analysis gave fans plenty to think about.
I think they're trying to say Crawford has a small reach advantage, something weird, It's not a big advantage. Well, a few inches is not a big advantage. You're going to always step in and commit, and people are going to, the inches can be taken away really quick. So I don't really see anybody having a real advantage. So to me, that means they're really right in front of each other. Right? When nobody has a real advantage, they're right in front of each other. They're going to be hitting each other.
Thurman's comments highlighted how evenly matched these two champions could be. He made it clear that when the margins are this small, every exchange matters. This insight only fueled the debate about who would handle the pressure better. Fans started imagining the back and forth action that could unfold in the ring. If Crawford and Canelo ever collide, it might turn into the kind of battle that keeps everyone on the edge of their seats. Keith Thurman further shared his thoughts with a point that drilled straight into the heart of the matchup. His words left fans wondering just how much strategy would shape the outcome.
Crawford just needs to box smart, and I just don't know exactly what kind of game plan that they have. A lot of people don't talk like me, and a lot of people will keep their stuff a little bit more secretive leading up to a fight. It adds into the anticipation. Either their team has a great plan to really try to take it from Canelo, and that's what I like to see, man. Like, even if fighters lose, I like to see when people are putting in that effort to win rounds and win fights, So let's just see how much strategy is brought into this fight.
Thurman's final take was a reminder that this fight is as much mental as it is physical. The right game plan could completely swing the result, no matter how close the skills are. Fans began speculating about what each camp might be hiding behind closed doors. The secrecy and preparation only add more anticipation to this dream fight. If Crawford and Canelo ever face off, every round will feel like a chess match with everything on the line. Keith Thurman then made a sharp observation about Canelo's style, adding yet another layer to the conversation. What he said next only fueled the anticipation.
Canelo's gonna do him, man. Canelo's not gonna do nothing new. Move forward, lean back, boom, boom, power, drop power. You know, I don't think Canelo's gonna really do anything different, but I'm interested in seeing the tactics on the Crawford side.
Thurman's point painted a clear picture of what fans might expect from Canelo on fight night. It also raised questions about how Crawford would deal with that pressure. The idea of contrasting styles colliding has everyone imagining explosive moments in the ring. Every detail now feels critical, and fans can't stop debating the outcome. If this fight ever gets made, the energy leading up to it will be nothing short of electric. Regis Prograis also weighed in with a take that balanced respect with hesitation. His words added yet another twist to the ongoing debate.
Yeah, I think he got a shot. I wouldn't say he's gonna win, but I definitely, everybody got a shot for sure. I think that I just, man, it's hard for me to say that Bud gonna win, bro. I'm a huge Crawford fan, bro. I've been a Crawford fan before I was supposed to fight him one time, you know, long time ago. But I knew how good he was, bro. I always put Crawford up there. At the time, my trainers, they was like, man, he not that good. I'm like, bro, this dude good, bro. I'm telling you.
Prograis' comments showed just how close and unpredictable this potential matchup feels. Even as a longtime admirer of Crawford, he struggled to fully commit to a prediction. That uncertainty reflects the way many fans are feeling right now. The clash of styles and strengths makes this fight impossible to call with confidence. If Crawford and Canelo step into the ring, it could be one of the most evenly matched battles in recent memory. Regis Prograis went even deeper with his next take, reflecting on boxing history and the challenges Crawford would face. What he said next had fans hanging on every word.
Like, I study boxing, bro. I know I've been studying boxing since the Joe Gans days, you know what I'm saying? Joe Gans, Harry Armstrong, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, all of them, and I'm looking at the skills that Crawford got. He's up there with them, you know what I'm saying? And like he's up there with them skill-wise, his mindset, all his hunger, he's up there with them. So I think I've always been high on Crawford, but it's just like, man, you fighting somebody just so good and big at the same time. Two divisions, right? Two different weight classes, and he's, you know, so I know that Crawford probably sparred with heavyweights and stuff like that, but it's always a difference when you get in there with that person, and that person can take your punches, and you know, it depends how well Crawford can take the punches of Canelo. Because, you know, Mel, the twin guy, twin looked way bigger than Canelo when they was looking, but then they fought, and it was like you could see the difference. You could see that size difference. Like when there was, it's a difference when you weighing in with somebody. You looking at him and stuff, and Mel was, Mel looks big. Different. Yeah, it's a big difference when you in there with that person.
Prograis' perspective gave the debate a level of depth that few could match. He compared Crawford's skills to some of the greatest fighters ever, but also underlined the danger of facing someone as strong and seasoned as Canelo. His words painted a vivid picture of just how high the stakes would be. Fans immediately began debating whether Crawford could handle that kind of pressure. If this fight happens, it will be a true test of heart, skill, and resilience. Regis Prograis then broke down the physical differences between the two fighters in a way that hit home. His next words added even more tension to the discussion.
I think we're going to see that right now. Like, Crawford looks the same as Canelo. He does look the same as Canelo. Body-wise, he looks the same, you know.
Is he getting bigger? Like you said, he was getting bigger. Like, do you feel like he's getting bigger too?
It looked like he is getting bigger. Yeah, it looked like Crawford is getting bigger. So yeah, with that, bro, like, it's like when you get in that ring, I think it's always a difference. When you get in that ring with that person, it's always gonna be a difference. Canelo's short, squat, his neck is way out here, you know what I'm saying? He's just like built like a damn wrestler, you know, and Crawford is, you know, he's more skinny. He's actually a real wrestler, but he's getting bigger too. So yeah, it's the difference when you get in that ring with that person.
Prograis highlighted just how much size and build could matter when the bell rings. He made it clear that what looks similar on paper can feel completely different in the ring. This sparked even more debates about whether Crawford's frame could hold up under Canelo's power. Fans couldn't stop imagining how that dynamic would play out round after round. If this fight becomes a reality, those physical matchups could decide everything. Stephen A. Smith then zeroed in on a flaw he believes could cost Canelo in a matchup like this. What he said next had everyone rethinking their predictions.
Despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this.
His observation sparked immediate debate among fans and analysts. If Canelo doesn't adjust, could this be the opening Crawford needs? The comment brought a sharper focus on how styles might clash in the ring. Every small detail now feels like it could tip the balance one way or the other. If this fight gets made, this very point could become the story of the night. Stephen A. Smith didn't stop there. He added another angle that raised serious questions about Crawford's chances. What he revealed next made the debate even more intense.
I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always
prepared.
He's always ready. He's always prepared.
This take reminded everyone just how dangerous Canelo can be at his natural weight. Stephen A. highlighted the risk of Crawford engaging too much with a fighter used to that kind of power. Fans began to wonder if this would be the deciding factor in the fight. The clash of size, strength, and experience could change everything in the ring. If this matchup happens, every exchange will carry the weight of this warning. Stephen A. Smith wrapped up his thoughts with a breakdown that perfectly captured the essence of this matchup. What he said next put the spotlight back on Crawford's skill set.
I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's gonna knock him out.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it there, my brother. Man, I appreciate you.
Definitely.
More than you know, man. Thank you,
man.
Appreciate you.
Proud of you, bro.
His final point highlighted the tools Crawford could use to tilt the fight in his favor. Speed, movement, and adaptability were all part of the picture he painted. Fans immediately began imagining how those strengths might play out against Canelo's power and experience. The thought of a close tactical battle only added more anticipation. If this fight becomes reality, it could deliver one of the most thrilling chess matches boxing has ever seen. Chino Rivas then stepped in with a brutally honest take that shook the conversation. His words left no room for doubt about where he stood on the matchup.
Canelo's just too big, and he's just a different animal. You know, leave the Canelo for the big boys like the David Benavidez, the Morel, you know, all the others, you know, coming in that weight class. You know, he's a 47-pound. You saw what happened with a 54-pounder who's 6 foot tall, 6'1". Yeah, I mean, how easily he manhandled him. Just imagine what he would do, you know, to somebody who, I think the biggest he gets is about 160 pounds. It just doesn't even make sense. And I think
Rivas's perspective reminded everyone just how dangerous Canelo can be at his natural weight. His warning about size and strength differences hit hard with fans on both sides. Many began questioning if Crawford could truly handle that level of physicality. The comments sparked heated debates that only fueled the anticipation even more. If this fight takes place, it could be one of the most physically demanding battles in recent memory. Chino Rivas didn't hold back in his follow-up, making it clear what he really thought about Crawford chasing this fight. His words added a whole new angle to the discussion.
I don't think I know Crawford's people, and Crawford's smart enough to understand, you know, even though it's a payday, just leave that alone. I mean, unless they talk about that, they guarantee him $15 million, well, you know, and then you know, it's a business aspect as well.
Rivas's statement sparked even more debate about whether the risk is worth the reward for Crawford. He hinted at the business side of boxing, where tough decisions often outweigh pride. Fans couldn't help but wonder if this fight makes sense beyond the hype. The tension around the possible matchup only grew stronger. If this bout is ever signed, it will carry enormous stakes both inside and outside the ring. Coach Anthony then jumped in with a take that completely flipped the narrative for many fans. His words showed just how much belief he has in Crawford's abilities.
Man, I've been saying that from the beginning, man, and I'm in the minority of people who think that Terence Crawford has a very great shot to win the fight. And the reason why I think he can win the fight is because, first of all, he's not a weak 147. He's extremely strong. He's about the same height as Canelo. He can switch. He can box. He's mean. He's a winner. He's determined. He doesn't like to lose. He kind of reminds me of like the Andre Wards and Floyd Mayweathers, where they just, these guys just win, and they just figure out ways to win.
Anthony's breakdown gave Crawford supporters even more confidence heading into this potential showdown. He highlighted traits that separate the good from the truly great in boxing. Fans quickly began comparing Crawford to legends who always found a way to win. This sparked a whole new wave of debate about how the fight could unfold. If this matchup happens, the pressure on both fighters will be unlike anything they've ever faced. Coach Anthony followed up with another take that only deepened the excitement around this potential matchup. His words showed he's not expecting a one-sided fight at all.
Don't get me wrong, Canelo's a guy who's campaigned at the heavier weight. However, he started at that smaller weight. He's a little shorter. Yes, he's wider, he's stocky. But if he doesn't hurt Crawford with those big hooks that he likes to throw, I think we got a real serious fight. So I'm actually excited about the fight. I do not think Canelo's going to steamroll Crawford. I never did, and it has nothing to do with
Anthony's perspective reminded everyone that size alone doesn't decide fights. He painted a picture of a competitive battle where every round matters. Fans immediately began imagining Crawford weathering Canelo's power and responding with his own skill set. The possibility of a close, hard-fought war has people buzzing. If this fight is ever made, it could turn into one of the most intense showdowns of this generation. Showbiz the adult then added his own twist to the conversation, shifting it to the betting side of things. What he said next had everyone paying close attention.
I think with this bet, I'm going to bet a huge bag on Canelo, because you got to bet he's still the favorite, but not by much. So that's what's giving me some, okay, I can bet 15 grand on Nello. I think I'm going to bet 15 grand on Nello. But I may bet like $300 on a Crawford knockout.
His approach showed just how close and unpredictable this fight feels to even the most confident voices. Showbiz's breakdown highlighted how both outcomes could realistically happen. Fans immediately started discussing their own predictions and wagers. The stakes surrounding this potential matchup only grew with his comments. If Crawford and Canelo do face off, it could become one of the most talked about fights in recent memory. The debate around a potential Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez fight has become one of the most talked about topics in boxing. From Stephen A. Smith's explosive statements to Keith Thurman's detailed breakdowns, and from Robert Garcia's measured analysis to Coach Anthony's belief in Crawford's greatness, every opinion adds more fire to the conversation. Some see Canelo's size, strength, and experience at higher weight classes as the deciding factors, while others believe Crawford's skill, speed, and relentless mentality could overcome those challenges. Even trainers like Chino Rivas and fighters like Regis Prograis offered mixed takes, showing just how evenly split the boxing world is. Canelo's power and durability are legendary, but Crawford's ability to adjust and break down opponents is something special. It might come down to who can impose their style first. If Canelo can land heavy shots early, he could control the fight, but if Crawford stays disciplined, uses his movement, and outpoints Canelo round by round, we could be in for a massive upset. What do you think? Would Crawford's boxing IQ and adaptability be enough to beat Canelo's experience and power? Does Canelo's size advantage make this an uphill battle for Crawford from the start? Who would you put your money on if this fight got signed tomorrow? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this as we continue to break down the biggest debates in boxing.